What's up, my roadies? Welcome to another training here, the Randy, the REI Rockstar. I am excited to show you this video. I put together the top 10 reasons why you're failing as a real estate investor, and I'll provide you some ways on how to avoid that. If you don't already know about me, if this is your first time to my YouTube channel or my website, it's the REIRockstar.com. Do not forget to download your free REI gig bag worth over $327. Got a bunch of goodies in there for you so you too can flip real estate. So let's get right into the training video here, guys. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel on YouTube and like and share this video so you can be the first to get these as they come about. So let's get right into it here. Top 10 reasons why you're failing as a real estate investor. Number one, you're probably not getting the right education. And what I mean by that is that there's a ton of these companies that go around to cities, give you this free boot camp. We've all seen them. And you go to these boot camps, and all it really is a place where they can upsell you to a product of some kind or some type of coaching, and it's not cheap. You're talking $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $25,000, money that you don't have, and if you did, you don't need to be pumping it into lining the pockets of these companies. What you should be doing is sending marketing. So don't do that. Instead, get a couple deals under your belt, and if you're going to spend some money on education, do it through books, right? Do it through the lower purchasing prices, lower price points, Amazon. Get yourself a really good ebook. Do your research, find out if others like that book and if they've learned something from it. And it doesn't have to be the whole picture. It could be something just on private lending. It could be something just on wholesaling or assignments in that case. And then, of course, once you have some money and you've done some deals, then go to what's called masterminds. And these are areas where folks have quote unquote become more experts and intermediates in that industry, and you can go to these masterminds, join these masterminds. They usually meet up once or twice a year, and you can learn even more about the industry. Number two, co-wholesaling pitfalls. So if you're not so new to real estate investing, you'll find that a lot of guys and gals teach you to co-wholesale, which is great. Co-wholesaling is a great idea, but there are some pitfalls that make it not the greatest. You may want to start out with bird dogging as a alternative to that. And the reason why is when you're doing a JV, rather than a co-wholesale deal, I call it a JV, there's a right way to do it and there's the wrong way. Now, the wrong way would be coming from one of these boot camps, going onto Craigslist, Facebook, or Google, finding these investors with inventory and simply joining their buyers list in hopes that they're going to send you this free inventory, right? They spent the capital to market and talk to the sellers and get these under contract. And you're hoping that they'll send you these deals, and you're simply going to pass them on to these cash buyers and make your little, fee or spread in between. It sounds like a great idea, but easier said than done, because there are some pitfalls to that. Let me give you a couple of them. Number one, you might be breaking the law. You do not have that property under contract. You're not involved in that real estate transaction, and there may be a state law that says you are brokering without a license. So study up on that. I'm not an attorney or CPA, but I know those laws exist, and you need to educate yourself and make sure that you're not in violation of your state law. Great way to find out is check out your local libraries or go to the websites for your local governments, and they actually list their statutes. You can read about real estate statutes in your state. So don't do that. I recommend don't do that co-wholesaling deal. Instead, be a bird dog. Another reason why is you may lose your reputation early on. And what I mean by that is, let's say you do get all this inventory. You join this buyer's list, you join this guy or girl's buyer's list, and you're getting deals coming in, and you see one come in at like 9 a.m. You kind of run the numbers and you go, gosh, this is kind of a good deal, but let me just throw it to this other buyer and see if it sticks. Well, let's say the buyer does like the deal, and they say, yeah, absolutely, I'd like to get this deal. What's really terrible is from the buyer's eyes, when you contact that buyer or they call you because you email blasted them and you don't have all the information, that buyer is going to hit you with, well, how are we going to do this? What title company are we going to use? Sometimes they may ask what you have it locked up for, and if you have to admit that you don't have it under contract, you've lost a lot of credibility right there. Then another thing is, at any given time on these deals, you don't even know, you may not even done your due diligence to find out if that that seller who sent you this deal in the first place even has it under contract themselves. And that's where a lot of this frustration comes in on the industry about these daisy chains that exist. And it's just one of the downsides of this industry where nobody knows who has what under contract. Do you have it under contract? Do I have it? Who knows? And so you're gonna get yourself a bad reputation getting into this, all excited from, again, some boot camp, and you're just gonna get very, very frustrated. So there's no deal control. The right way to do it would be to be on the purchase contract, right? And that's how you set it up via a JV. I have a JV video, by the way. I'll put it in the description below. There's a right way to do that. Be on the purchase contract with an add to buyer addendum, or a JV with that other investor from the beginning, not just when they get the deal, but from the beginning. So, yeah. Number three, choosing the wrong partner. Another reason why a lot of investors fail, both beginning and intermediate, is they kind of think to themselves, well, I have this set of skills, and this other person I know, you fill in the blank, mom, dad, family member, attorney friend, cousin, friend from work, somebody that, at your church, whatever it may be, and you just think, gosh, we'll really make a great team. For most people, it's their partner, which is what I actually do recommend, because you guys can support each other. That's something that works in tandem with each other. But when you get the wrong partner, boy, it can really discourage you from moving forward in real estate investing, because if things go south, you don't know how it's going to end. There's many legal implications when you form a corporation with another partner. Um, there's different taxation. You have yet another person that's doing accounting and trying to figure out the write-offs and write-downs, things like that. And who knows, maybe that person was recommended to you through somebody else, and they don't know what they're doing, and it's sort of the blind leading the blind. Or even worse, they're a charlatan, right? A snake oil salesman who comes in and just figures they'll take advantage of you. You're the one with the good credit. You might have saved up for 5, 6 years. You have a 401k, and they just talk you into liquidating it, knowing that, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but this person has money. So be very careful on choosing a partner. Either you go it alone, get a deal or two under your belt, and find another investor who will partner with you once you are an intermediate in real estate investing, or you can go ahead and invest with your spouse. There's a lot more trust there with a spouse, somebody, with a ring on their finger, that's going to support and make sure you guys are both moving in the right direction, versus some stranger or person who may not have your best interest at heart. Number four, I see this a lot, putting the cart before the horse, which is just a terminology saying that you're sort of running before you're walking, or worse, you're trying to implement things that don't exist yet. For example, you're getting started in real estate and you're focused on having a CRM. You're getting started in real estate, but you need to have two VAs who will, I don't know, fill out your paperwork. You're getting started in real estate, but for some reason, you're pulling your credit with banks and trying to get hard money loans, and you're trying to put this more complicated model together rather than just send out postcard and assign the deals to the guys or girls who do have money. Okay? Do not put your cart before the horse. Go ahead. It's okay to do some baby steps. Okay? I like to say, do the thing. When you're talking about money and risk, never do anything unless you're willing to lose it. So find out what your threshold is, whether that's $100, $10,000, $100,000. Find out what that threshold is, and then find the strategy that fits with that risk, right? For most people, that's bird dogging and assignments and wholesaling, right? So do not just try to be a hard money lender out of the gate. Do not start forming a corporation your first week. I mean, yes, eventually you'll need a corporation for tax purposes and write-offs and things like that, but you may not need that in the beginning. There's no reason to have a corporation when there's no money to be, accounted for. So why spend $500 to $1,000 on something that is not producing capital yet? So yeah, cart before the horse, not a good idea. Number five, fear, family, and friends. Those three F's there, they can really, really, really deflate your tires. So don't expect others, and I know a lot of you guys have experienced this, don't expect others to support you. It's not a perfect world. There aren't not everybody's going to be so excited about your endeavor and be so supportive of you. Sometimes that may include your spouse, and you probably should have figured that out before you got into that relationship with that person, at least a long-term relationship. So whether it's the spouse that you've been with for 10 years or friends and family that you're thinking positively like myself, and you share it with them and they're like, yeah, you're probably going to fail. You know, you're going to get rejection, embarrassment, and judgment. And for some individuals as investors, they let that deter them from doing what they know they're here to do, which is to help, homeowners get out of tough situations, to reinvest in the communities by fixing and flipping properties. Government doesn't do that. Investors do, right? Hurricane just came through Florida, one or two of them last I checked, and one in Texas. Those individuals need someone to come in, buy those properties, put in the capital to fix them up, mold remediation, damage, fire damage. There was fires in those areas of the country. Uh, you know, Government doesn't do that, nor does government or even conventional lenders lend to those properties. You need a good significant amount of capital. And the reason is that hurricanes don't happen every single month. When you underwrite something like that, when big banks, it's sort of the law of large numbers, underwrite those things, they want the cookie cutter stuff, right? So investors are that piece of the community on both a small level and a large level. They're the ones who literally invest in the community. They take their capital that they were able to create and invest in areas where they can get a good return. So you may not always want to share those things with friends and family unless you are seriously, seriously considering them being partners with you, right? Um, or they're your private money lenders. So that could stop you from it. My recommendation to you guys is just be very choosy, be very careful. Not everyone is going to be gun-ho and excited about your endeavors. Number 6, a lack of a good foundation can really stifle your success. So these are things like having the title company, laying those foundational train tracks, if you will, of having the title company at the end of your destination. I mean, imagine getting a contract promising a homeowner or a buyer certain things and not being able to deliver. So make sure you have a title company. Make sure you have an attorney, a closing agent, a real estate agent who can run comps for you. Make sure you have an insurance card of, some insurance professional that can insure maybe your fix and flips, or contractors that can calculate the repairs much, much better than you can because they are 5, 10 years into the industry. A good hard money lender, transactional funder wouldn't hurt. A part of a good foundation is understanding your market. Don't just go into it blindly. Get the right education so that things run smoothly. Be a well-oiled machine. Understand your local cash transactions. Understand where other investors are buying and for what reasons. Understand how to talk to sellers and buyers and negotiate and those kind of things. So if you don't have a good foundation, boy, it's really just going to fall apart right out of the gate. And again, that's why people give up. Number 7, this is very important. These are all in no particular order, but have a why. Have a reason why you're doing this. And it could be that you just want to be rich, right? You just want to have more money. You want to be filthy rich. I get that. But for somebody who's going to be successful long term, or have even more success than they would for not having a reason why, have a reason why, guys. Maybe you have someone in your family that was ill, sick, and you want to help pay for medical bills. Maybe you saw someone lose their business during that, real estate crash several years ago, and you don't want to be in that position. Maybe that was you who lost everything years ago, and you don't want to be vulnerable financially. And this is your way of educating yourself and ensuring that you'll have success long term. Have a why, understand your why, position yourself with that why so that you'll have even more success. And having goals is a given, guys. Your why shouldn't just be your goals. Like, well, my why is because I want 10 rentals. That's very surface level. Have a larger why. Maybe you are somebody who is, socially conscious and you want to give back to the community. Maybe you want to maybe real estate is your beginning vehicle, and eventually you want to parlay that being a movie producer or director for films locally. Or you really are a painter, an artist. Maybe you're in a band and you need capital, right, to fund that band. Real estate's a great vehicle, for entrepreneurship. So, we welcome that in this industry a lot. Number 8, huge reason why investors fail, especially ones who get their first deal and cannot continue, can't get a second deal, if it was right in front of them. And the reason is consistency is very, very key for success. You have to make sure you are investing in yourself every waking moment of the day. You need to be in this for the short term and the long term. And if you make money, if you get capital into your account, you should reinvest into your business. Do not just start spending that money on things that are frivolous. Do things that are intelligent. Reinvest 25% or 50% or 100% back into the company, right? Another reason is so that you can get more feedback. The more feedback you get from the marketplace, be it failure or financial gains, that's good. You can test, you can A/B test, get information, understand why was I successful, what list was better, what postcard worked better. All those things are very, very important. And another reason, that's just within the business of real estate, but another reason why the consistency option applies here, or no consistency, is having ADD with your business opportunities. Have you ever met those people or been one of these folks yourself that one week you're all about real estate investing, and then the next week you're about Amazon and FBA, and then the next week you're all about stock trades and binaries and all this stuff? I know this is applicable to you guys because I've done it myself. So stick with it. If you're going to be an investor, be an investor. Stick with it, understand it fully, stick with one, and go for it long term. Number 9, the wrong mindset. Mindset's very important. And again, these are in no particular order, but arguably this could be number 1. So having the right mindset in any entrepreneurial endeavor is very, very important. You must be positive. You must not be lazy or complacent. Be driven, be disciplined, be obsessed, have the determination, the dedication to see it through, to push it through, to make things happen. Have an attitude, a constant attitude, right, of being a superhero. Be a superhero. Be other people's superhero. Get it done. If you don't have that attitude, it's not going to happen. If you're somebody who is difficult, if you're constantly creating doubt for yourself, it's bad enough others are going to doubt you. Don't doubt yourself. You know, have those qualities that are going to create a great foundation and to long-term success, and things will be fine. And the last reason, certainly not the least, is feet dipping versus cannonballs. When you get into something, guys, I don't want you to just put your toe in and fill the water. Jump in, do a belly flop or a cannonball. You need to do that. So many investors will, and they do it in different ways because, I actually do get some emails from individuals from our blog and saying, what's the best for me? I've tried this, I've tried that. And I noticed that, yeah, they've done some real estate investing, but it was on such a small scale, and that was the reason why they weren't successful. It wasn't because they didn't understand assignments. It wasn't because they didn't have a title company. Certainly wasn't because they weren't motivated. These are intelligent people. These are people who really want to see things happen and see results. But what they did is they were a little too conservative, and they spent $500 on a mail campaign. And then they didn't get any calls, or they got one call, and it was just sort of a realtor, an investor who was looking for deals. And now, real estate doesn't work. It's not for me, right? So yeah, don't just put your toe in. Jump in the pool. Get in there. Get in there, make a huge splash so that the waves come back, and you get your feedback, and you find out who's who in the local community in terms of other investors, in terms of what houses sell, which ones don't, and just make a splash. So that's it, guys. Top 10 reasons why real estate investors fail. And, if you like this video, guys, don't forget to floss, tag others, share it on Facebook, give me a like, and please subscribe. This is the quickest way for you to get these videos. These are free trainings. I spent all morning putting this together for you, so I hope that you appreciate this free information. You didn't have to go to a boot camp or anything like that. You've got yourself a great education in a quick, 10, 15-minute video. Have yourself a blessed day. This is Randy checking out the REI Rockstar, and take care.